Yo, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to the 12th episode. I remember this time. 12th episode of Wrestling with the Bros. Acknowledge us. Snoop.
Because if you're not sure you can pull it off, you won't.
Acknowledge us.
Acknowledge him. Acknowledge him. That's what you do. For all you people that told me Solo is gonna win, shut your ass up. You acknowledge this man. That's why he's behind me. You understand? Because I got backing of the tribal chief. You understand?
Yeah, finally, hold on. My phone finally let me connect. I'm like, good, with my iPad. I mean, this is just ridiculous, man. Just ridiculous. Welcome to another episode.
To iron out.
Well, unlike Netflix, my stuff is buffering. But welcome to another episode of Wrestling with the Bros. Alongside Fair, Hayden, I am Chris. I'll show my face just in a few moments. Shout out to our executive producer and the man whose team is in the playoffs. Our team isn't, so that's Smitty. I hope everybody had a great holiday, great Christmas. Let's start off right there. Fair. How was your holidays, man? How was your holidays?
Yeah, I was, worked pretty much all through the holidays, so it was kind of a blur. I worked Christmas morning. I didn't work New Year's Day, but I did work. So yeah, it was just blew by. Got the kids what they wanted to get, and I kind of just went on from there. Hayden, how was yours?
It was good, man. I was off for 2 weeks because I work in the school district right now. But I was busy. I was busy pretty much every day. Um, Christmas with the little one went well. Me and my lady had a good Christmas. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was good. It flew by for sure. Was not ready to go back to work.
And you went to SmackDown the season premiere too. We'll get into
I
that.
went to yeah. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, Chris, how was yours? You and your chicken you're frying back there.
Yeah. It was good, man.
One piece.
It flew by. It flew by too fast. I'll tell you that. It flew by too fast. I did not want my vacation to come to an end. But no, it was a good vacation. Right before Christmas, I went on a cruise, and it definitely enjoyed that. Um, and then I was sick, but it got better. So other than that, it was pretty good, man. Glad to be back on the pod and ready to do some pod, man. Ready to go in here and talk about all the things of wrestling, especially with WWE. Um, and definitely talk about what is going on now that WWE has officially entered the Netflix era, at least for the next 10 years. We're starting it for the next 10 years. So, you know what? Let's just go right into it. Let's just jump right into it. The premiere of SmackDown happened on January 3rd, but we had exclusive access because our very own Hayden, he was there at SmackDown on Friday, January 3rd in Phoenix at the Footprint Arena. Is that what it's called now? The Footprint Arena?
Yeah, the Footprint Arena is where they were at this time. They usually do it over at the old hockey arena, which is over by that's called Desert Diamond. But this time they chose the Desert Arena, the Footprint Arena, which I thought was awesome.
Right.
I think they have a little bit more seating for that arena than they do over at Desert Diamond.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, Hayden, give us your thoughts on what you thought SmackDown was, and what you thought was really good, what was not good. Tell us about that.
You know what? I was gonna say this from the get-go that SmackDown felt like a really good. I was worried about the 3 hours at first because they hadn't done a 3 hour show in a while. Um, but then they filled it like from top to bottom. It didn't feel like there was a lull. Every match that was on there, I thought was a really good match. I mean, even the speed match before they started televising was really good between Natty and oh,
Candice LeRae,
took
wasn't it?
the yeah, Candice LeRae was really good. I don't know if any of you caught that on X. Um,
Yeah, I watched
Candice
the.
LeRae, yeah, she retained, and I thought it was a good way. I mean, I thought it was a good way to show that Natty's still good, but like, I don't know. I feel like she's kind of a jobber now. Um, but I mean, she did a fantastic job. That was a great match, and I mean, from beginning to end. And I don't know if it was because I was there that I was super into it. But there was no. I would say the only downer match for me was Shinsuke and um, Andrade, and that's not even saying it was a bad match. It was just the low.
Right,
It was just the low man on the totem pole for that night.
right, right. How was the atmosphere in the arena? Electric
Dude, man,
from
it
start
was
to finish.
electric from start to finish. Like I said, the only match that nobody seemed to really care about was Andrade and Shinsuke. But until I mean, when LA Knight came out, man, it was a huge pop. Um, because I think a lot of people assumed that maybe he was done with Shinsuke and maybe moving on to bigger, better things.
Mhm.
Um, after his titles reign was over. But man, I mean, the two loudest pops of the night was obviously when Tiffany Stratton cashed in, which was amazing. I mean, I for one didn't see it coming. Like when she seemed like she was kind of going to help Naya,
Mhm.
I really thought it was over. It was a roller coaster of emotions for sure. But when she actually cashed in her Money in the Bank briefcase, that whole arena was there wasn't a butt in a seat. It was insane. And then obviously Jay Uso's entrance. That I will I don't maybe I'm being biased because I was there, but the seeing everybody around there, like it felt bigger there than it did on Raw.
Well, I would probably say that would feel like that because it's different live than on TV.
Yeah.
Um, but shit, it looked the same. I would say on Raw and on
Well,
SmackDown.
well, well. It probably felt like that, Hayden, because of the fact he couldn't smoke a joint with Travis Scott. That's why. Um,
That's true. And the loud happens. It helps the loud.
Man.
The loud happens.
um, but no, like no, I'm with you, man. Even though I wasn't there, but it did feel like the entire arena was pretty much uh, electric from start to finish, and I think part of it was because it's a 3 hour show, and that was something I was really worried about because we've seen it in the past with Raw for many years. When it gets to about a 3 hour, when it's a 3 hour episode, there are times when it's like, oh my gosh, can this please end? Because it feels like instead of three, it feels like 6 or 7 hours. So I do agree with that, and I think uh, it being the premiere of SmackDown for it being a 3 hour show, I think that like it was electric. The pay, like I agree with you, the pacing was good. Tiffany probably had the biggest pop. The only thing, and Fair and I talked about this, the only thing that I did not like about that match, or I mean,
Hey,
I'm sorry, that
that's
match,
Savage real
that
quick. My bad. Hey, Dan.
oh, go ahead.
Now just shout
Um,
out to people watching, commenting and stuff. Shout out
oh,
everybody
okay.
watching out there on Twitter and YouTube. Savage,
What up? What up?
uh, our
What up, Eagles? What's up? What's up,
resident
Savage?
Eagle / wrestling with the bros gal. Yeah, we always respect you. Show
Uh,
us many love. Appreciate you.
Thank you
Eagle
guys.
Eric, what's going on, bro? What's going on?
what's up? What's up? What's up? No, the
Hey,
only
hey,
thing
hey.
that I didn't like was the fact that Jay Uso took that pin to Solo in the main event. I thought Jimmy should
That
have
was
taken that pin.
bro. I mean,
Jimmy
yeah,
should have taken
I
that
mean,
pin.
we can just get right into it because that was really the other than I really want to talk about the women's match. Uh, there was no reason for Jey Uso to take that pin. Like that was
Yeah.
I don't understand it. You now it worked out well. When we get into Raw, we'll discuss that. But you're going into a big match with Drew McIntyre and you're having him lose to like why is Jimmy there if he's not going to take that pin? So
Hmm.
let Sammy take it. Sammy has nothing going on right now. Let Sammy take that pin.
Yeah, I
There's no
agree.
reason for Jay to take that pin. Going into a match with Drew fucking McIntyre, that lessens the meaning of that match. So like it was just I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah. It felt like, yeah. I mean, it did feel kind of weird, because people were expecting Roman to come out. To be honest with you. That whole arena was chanting OTC, and I think it would have made sense, for Roman to show up, right before Raw. And I think that's again another issue with Raw for me, was that it just kind of felt like there wasn't that big of a connection between what happened with him and Roman and what happened on Friday, other than him having that conversation with Paul Heyman.
Yeah, let's
Um,
get into that when we get into the Raw because we're gonna yell and scream about that anyway.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm with you, Hayden. I was kind of surprised that Roman didn't show up because usually before a big, especially with Netflix right around the corner or the debut of Raw on Netflix, you really would have liked to have seen Roman come out and confront Solo and the rest of the Bloodline 2.0 going into the Raw match, especially since it was a tribal combat match. I think Roman should have come out for that, but that's
Well,
neither
and
here nor there.
especially for what happened after, like after the televised went off, like
Mhm.
for Cody to come out and help out.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
Um, it seemed out of nowhere a little bit. Maybe it was just to give Cody exposure. Um, because I mean KO had nothing to do with that segment at all. But again, like I've said to you guys in the back channels, there was a small moment where Cody's music was going off during that segment, and when it got to the woes, everybody except Jay did the woe for Cody's entrance. And Jay was literally just side eyeing Cody. And I wasn't trying to, I'm not trying to read too much into it, but it felt like something was there. It felt like maybe they were like trying to hint at something between Cody and Jay in the future.
Mm.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to give that to the live crowd to say, "Oh, we seen that first." But yeah, like I said, you already know my thoughts on Jay. Jay's my one of the Royal Rumble. I think any other choice is wrong. Um, I would love to see him and Cody. I would love to see him and Cody. I would love to see a new player in the main event. Like I love Roman. Everybody knows, what I mean. I love Roman, but if I mean, Jay needs to be rewarded for dropping his IC title and then letting his star power that he's just now creating to that storyline that was trash before Bad Blood in November in October. So like I would love it. I would love a Jay Hill turn. That'll come out of nowhere. And I think his heel turn will be on the same effect of what a Romans is or what a Punk is now. Nobody's gonna boo him. He's just gonna be doing wild and crazy shit. But no, he's not gonna get booed. It'll be
You
that.
know,
It'll be that effect.
well, you know what? I agree with the most part. Like, I would love to see Jay get his world title shot, and I think he should win the Rumble. I agree. Business wise, I think they're gonna go with Cena. I definitely see that coming. Um, but if it's not Jay winning the Rumble, 1B would be with him moving to SmackDown. What I would love to see, and this is just a dream match for me, um, him and LA Knight going at it for the United States Championship at Mania.
I would like that too. That
That
would
would be that would be
consolation prize.
yeah, that would be the consolation. I think you put him if he doesn't have the World Heavyweight Championship, which I'm thinking I th- I think you keep building his rise. Business wise, this is not a fan talking. This is from a business mindset. I think you have another year of building up Jay, and he'll be in the main event picture for next year's Mania. Not Vegas. I think he'll be in the main event for the following Mania.
They could give him another year to cook. Yeah, I know. They did the similar thing they did to LA Knight.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So that's what I agree with your guys' take on SmackDown. Like, just obviously, I think it was the superior show. I know we're going to talk about Raw here in a moment, but it was the superior show. It was a wrestling fan show.
For sure. Well,
Totally agree. Totally agree. Um, Pretty much that's all. That's all for about SmackDown. Let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room, which is Raw debuting on Netflix. Let's go ahead and get to it because this has been a trending topic for the last since Wednesday for at least the last 2 days. The last 2 days, this has been trending. Um, WWE debuted Raw debuted on Netflix with the first episode on there on Monday night from the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California. And real quick, before we go any further, our thoughts and prayers are with those who are affected by the wildfires out there
Yeah,
in the southern part of California. Definitely prayers up to them and everybody who was affected by it. Uh,
for sure.
but I was hyped for this. I was really hyped for this uh, because and like everybody else, this was something new, something exciting. It's on Netflix, a huge, maybe the biggest streaming platform in the world. And if you're a wrestling fan, you were disappointed. If you're a casual or a brand new fan, you're excited. So we have two worlds colliding all in one night. Presentation wise, I thought WWE, and I think this is what really makes them who they are. Presentation wise, it was one of the best. It was bar none, top notch, bar none, hands down. Presentation, it was dope. The drone shots were great. I thought the energy from the crowd was great. Uh, the presentation, the promos, or the presentation at the very beginning, because I actually went back and rewatched it yesterday and a little bit today. I thought were really, really good. And then it came to the matches itself. The matches I thought was good, but boy, it felt like a PLE on a Monday night. So Hayden, I'm gonna start with you. What are your thoughts about Monday Night Raw debuting on Netflix?
You know, shout out to Nix, who has been on the show before, but there's something that he said to me a while back when I was even just thinking about content creation in general, and I think it applies to this moment because I've thought about it for a couple days now. When you go to a different side of things, like for example, content creation for the Dallas Cowboys is what Nix does. If you're a Cowboys fan or if you just like hearing sports takes, check him out. Follow him on Twitter. Your guy Nix. Um, he mentioned something to me while we were talking one day, and he said, when you get onto this side of things, you fan different. It makes you see things differently. And so when it came to this, at first as a fan, I was disappointed and upset and frustrated because I was like, man, I've been waiting. When did the news break? Like 6 months ago? A little longer than that?
August, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was sometime I mean, yeah,
I
it's
think
been a
it's before
while.
SummerSlam, so it's been a while.
Um, been looking forward to it, Like I was thinking this is going to be a wrestling fan's dream, finally we're getting on Netflix. You're going to be on a platform that, that millions and billions of people across the world are going to see. Um, and from a fan standpoint, upset. From a content creation standpoint, from a business standpoint, super smart move. You're not you take that and you make it a pilot episode is really what it was to me. And so I coming at it from both angles, like from a content creation to a business standpoint. I think WWE did exactly what they wanted to do, which was give give people who had never seen the product before or were old fans and are coming back exactly what they wanted. Old faces that they could recognize that have been associated with the brand for a long time, love them or hate, hate some of them, but you bring faces that are obviously connected with it since the beginning of time, right? People who are like, oh man, I hear, so and so is going to be there.
Mhm.
Makes sense from a business standpoint. It makes so much sense. But for us who have been on this ride for the last 2 years, really under the Triple H era, it was disappointing. It was really disappointing. But I think it's going to go back to business as usual, and you can kind of feel the course correction happen last night at NXT. So for me, from a fan standpoint, I'm gonna give it a 3 or 4. From a business content creation standpoint, they did exactly what they're supposed to do. 10.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it's interesting you mentioned uh, new fans or fans who are getting back into it because the first person that came to mind, I can't remember if it was Hayden. If you tweeted this out or Fair, if you tweeted this out, oh, make sure you follow us at WW TV Wrestling with the Bros. Uh, Follow us on X. Hopefully we can leave X soon and get on Blue Sky. But that's a whole nother subject for another day. But I think Kay Adams had she had
That
made
was me.
mention of now that was you. Okay, so it was you. You had tweeted it out about no, she had the hat on because she was there at the premiere, and then on her show the very next day she had her hat on, and she even tweeted out a question to the fans, what pretty much like what should I expect or what do I need to look forward to with this going forward? And those are the people that they want. WWE is trying to reach a whole new audience. And Kay Adams, somebody like that, who is very popular, has a huge platform. I think she's on, was it FanDuel TV or something like that? Uh,
Yeah.
Everybody knows who she is. A lot of guys think she's hot. Uh, so she brings brand new eyeballs to their platform, and somebody who for her who might be a casual or maybe she's kind of looked at wrestling and was like, whatever. Now she was there up close and personal. She sees it from a different perspective because she was there. Now she's like, okay, I can get invested into this. So I'm with you, Hayden. Uh, that's exactly what it was. It was pretty much bringing in brand new eyeballs, bringing in or bringing in old eyeballs and showing them something brand spanking new. And then and then not only this, here's what it does too. Let's just say you used to, or let's just say you're on Netflix one night, and then you're like, wait a minute, WWE's on here. Let me check it out. So you may not necessarily know who Roman Reigns is or Drew McIntyre. You might know who CM Punk is. You might know who CM Punk because he crossed over years ago. But then you start watching it. Oh, the Rock's do it. Rock's on here. Oh, they have Taker. Wait, Cena. Oh, wait a minute. They brought back Hogan, and we'll get to Hogan in a minute. Trust me, we're going to get to Hogan.
Mhm.
But that's what like Netflix is. That's what having Netflix it will do for the people. Now, from a wrestling show perspective, yeah, it wasn't good but to me, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And I think, and as I'm rewatching it, Michael Cole did actually do a good job of telling the stories of the different matches. So that way you weren't sitting there wondering, okay, why are these two fighting? Or why are these, or what beef do they have? So Michael Cole was doing a good job of explaining that. But like I mentioned in our space that we had Monday night, I wish they would have had video packages leading up to the matches. So that way, you as a fan, if you're a brand newbie, you're sitting there watching. Oh, okay, this is why Punk and Seth Rollins are beefing. This is why Roman and Solo are fighting for the Ula Fala. So
Yeah.
I wish WWE would have done that, but it wasn't the greatest show. But pretty much, it was a PLE on a Monday night. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it was, and it did its job.
From a
Go ahead,
business
Fran.
standpoint, there's only
Oh, go
one
ahead,
thing
Fran.
that I
Go
would have
ahead.
changed. There's only one thing
What's
I would have
that?
changed. I would have actually had Joe Tessitore do be the third person in that booth. So it
Okay.
would have been a three. It would I would have put a 3-man commentary on there because I feel like a lot of people like like McAfee, like Pat. He's
Mhm.
good for like entertainment, and a lot of people know him. But there's a lot of people who are probably like sports fans. Are like, oh, I know Joe Tessitore. So like you guys talking about him for boxing and stuff like that. I mean,
Mhm.
it
And
might have
college
been good
football,
to
yeah.
have got it kind of good to have that like third voice in there to be like, oh, there's somebody else I can connect with too, and it's feeling more like a sports casting and all that stuff. That's the only thing I
Just
maybe
for
would have changed from a business standpoint.
just for that night, or going forward.
Just for that night to make it feel
Okay,
extra special.
gotcha. Okay.
I don't know if you
Hayden, I
want
mean
to
Hayden. Fair, go ahead.
play. Yeah, I don't know if you want to have two play-by-play guys, right? So I don't think that works. I would have loved the Corey Graves there though, to be the kind of opposite of Pat, like they do on the paper, the
Mhm.
PLEs. I love that. But just to get to the Raw, um, I knew this was going to happen, right? So my raw feelings, no pun intended, but my raw feelings coming out of the show, and I said it on the space, and I was, people were in there. It was like, oh, it was great. No, it's not about the show. It's about what I was expecting. And then when I sleep on it, after I get the emotional side out of it, I sleep on it. And I come back, I think about it, I smoke my joint. I go on my own little space about it. There was nothing wrong with the show. The show was a B-level pay-per-view. That show was as good as any Bad Blood. That show was any good as Backlash. That show was any good. I would even say it's a Money in the Bank. There was nothing wrong with the show. The problem was we didn't expect that. We thought we were going to get the normal Raw, the normal episodic type Raw, the little skits. I was
Mhm.
the main thing I was that I wanted to see is would it be more length in the skits and in the backstage kind of interviews where they do more, where they kind of go more or be more graphic, things like that, right? But
Mhm.
none of that happened. So okay, so after the first match and we get into the flow of the paper the show. Like you don't see I'm doing the show. Um, whitefish or something. But as I'm getting into the flow of the show, right? It's
Mhm.
like, okay, so you want to do a PLE on a Monday. Cool. So if you decide to do a PLE on a Monday and you want to grab all these casual viewers, this is me as my fan business side. Like I'm speaking as a fan, but I'm also trying to understand the business. If you're gonna sit
Mhm.
here and do that, where are my pay-per-view vignettes? Where is my, my backstage setup to a match? Where's my cool entrance? Where's my walk behind the camera? Somebody's walking to the ring. Where is that? You do that every PLE to somebody. Where was that? You're not putting on the PLE. You're putting on a house show. That's what it felt
Mhm.
like. It was a
In your
freaking
house.
ringside house show. Exactly.
It was in your house.
It had nothing entertainment wise about wrestling. And that's what you got on Netflix for, is because you're entertaining. Nobody gives a shit about the wrestling when you're casual. So you fucked yourself that way.
I
I don't know if it maybe was they just wanted to keep it action. And if you were gonna do that, maybe give me more matches than one fucking match an hour. Maybe that works. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that was because wait a minute, wasn't it supposed to be like 6 or 7 matches for the for Raw or
there was a
something?
lot
I
there
thought it
was a
was five.
lot slated. There was a lot slated. Like Becky originally was supposed to return.
That turned out to
Um,
be
Hmm.
false. Turned out to be false.
the White Six were supposed to have like a small interaction out there. To me, it felt like Netflix itself got real involved.
I don't know
Yeah,
because I don't know if Netflix. I don't know if Netflix knows the product enough to say I want this, that. I think they got involved with people we saw. Like I think they got involved and said, I want the Undertaker, I want Hulk Hogan, I want all these people sitting around, blah, blah, blah. I think they got involved with that. But the production wise of the show, I have no doubt I don't think they had anything to do with that because they don't know what we watch. They don't
But
know
think
that
about it though.
because the corporate people don't watch wrestling every day.
But think about it. How much time did it take to show all those celebrities? I mean, if you
a
really
lot.
probably
Right.
pieced it together, it probably took 10 or 15 minutes to show all of them. You know what I mean?
I would say
And
it
you
take
know,
to
Hmm.
be honest with you.
it,
They did it every fucking after every fucking match. It
yeah,
was
and
that
so
match is 10 minutes of showing celebrities and wrestlers. So
yeah, and so I mean, it to me like I think there probably was a lot of stuff scrapped because it felt like I mean, from beginning to end, it felt like a Hollywood premiere because you had
Yeah,
people out on the
I
red
agree.
carpet, you had people. I mean, it felt very Hollywood produced, and that's not what WWE is. You know what I mean? Every time they've
I
taken a
mean,
jab at doing something Hollywood, it's turned out
well, I mean,
not
I
so
mean, they
good.
weren't they were in LA, so I mean, what can you say? They were in LA.
and I won't say that WWE doesn't do that because when they get to the WrestleManias or even the Royal Rumbles and the SummerSlams now, like let's call those big three out, you have like a big presentation of it, right? You have this big, glorified 3 hour pre-show, and they show all the guys coming in, and they have an element of that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it was stretched out too much. Like I don't care.
There
Okay,
should have
that the
been a
woman
there
is
should have been
in
a
the front row.
pre-show.
I don't care. There was
Yeah,
a
that
pre.
was
There was a
It was a
on,
pre-show?
pre
on YouTube.
on Instagram.
Oh,
See, I didn't know that. See, honestly, I was expecting a pre-show on Netflix. Honestly,
that's what
that's
I
what
would
I
have
was
done.
Yeah,
expecting.
but it was mostly talking. Like I forget. It wasn't nothing, and it was somebody who works for. It might not even have been WWE adjacent, to be honest with you. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stick to that. But yeah, have an official post show. Let's call pre-show. Do that because you did a post show. Why would you not do a pre-show if you're doing a post show? Let's call that out. That's
Mm.
Yeah,
but
I didn't get that either. I mean, yeah, I'm with you, fair.
just to
I'm with
finish
you.
up my thought on Raw though. So you don't give me what you if you want to put on that type of show, what you do every month, you don't give me the same production of it. So now it just feels like you're just showing me wrestling matches.
Mhm.
I don't like it's not that I don't watch wrestling for wrestling matches, but that's not all I want to goddamn see when especially if I'm sitting at Raw, this thing that I watch consistently every week
Mhm.
all type for comedy, for action, for drama, all that shit that they do. But then you give me a bunch of huge matches, bunch of huge matches.
Mhm.
Nothing like I said, nothing's wrong with the show in the match point of view of it. Nothing's wrong with it. But this was Raw. Raw is episodic.
Yeah.
Raw is a
Well, and they were
TV.
very story-driven matches. They were very story-driven matches.
Yes, so you need
Yeah,
that. If you're gonna do the PLE format, you need the vignette for that. You need the vignette especially if you're a casual and you haven't watched, or you're lapsed, as they say, and you haven't watched for a couple years. You need the vignette to give a fuck about the match. They didn't
The only
show me the
vignette they
video
did,
package.
the only one they did it for was Roman and Solo, right?
Right, but they didn't do it for Liv. They didn't do it for why wouldn't you do it for Seth and Punk? You
Dude,
you
Seth
show
and
you
Punk,
show a
yeah.
little tidbit You show a little tidbit, but you don't go in depth into the story like you normally do on your PLEs and with the video package. So if you want to do that, why not give me
and
video
that's my
package?
and that was my point. That was my point. Why the hell they didn't go to the video? I mean, why didn't they do like a video package for each match? Because thank goodness Michael Cole, he was explaining the matches as far as explaining why everybody was wrestling everybody, but they should have done video packages.
Oh, this is cool.
What happened to the good old days where they played a janky ass Limp Bizkit song to a vignette that gave you the whole story?
Right. Exactly.
Speaking of Limp
Exactly.
Bizkit, and I'm not gonna go to the person directly with Limp Bizkit, but then you put fucking old ass, racist ass Hulk Hogan in my fucking face.
Yeah,
Like,
let's cook Hulk Hogan's. Let's cook Hulk Hogan's driveway mustache having ass. Let's cook this nigga. Yeah, come
you
on.
son of a having head ass nigga. Like, what did you put this old racist dude in front of me for? I can walk outside and see an old racist white dude. I don't need to see shit on fucking WWE television, my boy. You sit here and then you get the stupid idiots on Twitter. Hey, he's political, MAGA. I don't care. I want no fucking MAGA. This dude called me a lazy nigger to my face.
Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. You know what? Let's backtrack to this. Let's backtrack.
And his beard's probably not good.
I don't know. Ask Rey Mysterio. He had some afterwards.
Right.
And, he did. No. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up about the MAGA stuff, because when the Undertaker came out and his American Badass character, everybody in that place became unhinged. They went nuts, and
Yeah.
I think not just because of the fact that it's the Undertaker, but it's the American Badass, because he was that character for how long? About 4 years, I think, 4 or 5 years, somewhere in there.
I want to say it was 01 to about 2004.
4 or 5. Oh, because
Whenever that
was 4.
And like Fair says,
at MSG is when he went back. So whatever.
Okay.
one of my favorite quotes that Fair says now. You know he's not a racist.
Right. I know Undertaker's not a racist. I've seen a whole bunch of black people sit here and talk glowingly, and it's black people like Ron Simmons and shit like that. They don't
Booker T.
They don't do this countdown shit. Booker T.
The Godfather.
These dudes are down to earth brothers.
Yeah.
And they speak glowingly about the Undertaker. I know he's not racist. So when he had the man on his podcast, it was cool.
Yeah. Like, okay. I don't have to agree with your political views, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to, if he wanted to support that guy, that's fine. It is what it is. I know where he stands on when it comes to politics, whatever. Cool. The problem I have with Hulk, and you watch what I tell you. You watch all of these. You watch how they try to use these fires as a way of saying that's payback for booing Hulk Hogan. That's what you watch what I tell you. Somebody's going to try to use that against them. You watch what I tell you. They're going to say these fires are happening because they booed Hulk Hogan. You watch what I tell you. You watch what I tell you. Somebody's going to say
it's going to happen.
But no,
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Somebody's going to do it. But Hulk Hogan knowingly has said racist things.
Mm-hmm.
He also is a jerk. He's been the biggest dick to a lot of people in the locker room. As a matter of fact, Iron Sheik, until they put him
From the
6 feet
grave.
under, hated Hulk Hogan with his guts. He hated his guts. So the fact that you actually went out there and you made a deal. You made a deal with this beer company, and you start bringing him out. And I promise, I was sitting there thinking, I might have said in his face, I said, they better not bring out Hogan, because if they bring out Hogan, it is going to be a problem. And I don't care if he was in California or if he was in Egypt. Hulk Hogan, people do not forget stuff. People do not forget the things that you say that are bad, and they showed you how they felt. Now, some people might vote him for his views in politics, but a lot of them They booed him because of what he had said behind closed doors that came out.
If he was in Alabama,
Mhm.
fuck booed him. Okay? Do you understand? First of all, it's WWE. Do you know the people who watch WWE? Newsflash.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't what you think it is, especially now. It's not who you think watches wrestling. It's not.
Well, I mean, we made a joke about it here just a minute ago, but like, we looked at, the vignettes back in the day. You had a lot of rock and a lot of like hardcore music like that, like Limp Bizkit I was joking about. But if you even listen to everything now, like the culture has changed.
Right.
And
Yeah.
again, this come from a white dude, right? Like um I, man, I didn't want to see Hulk. I don't want to see Drew said it best. Drew said it on Friday night. He
Mm-hmm.
said, "We are the best roster that has ever been, including the 80s, including the Attitude Era. I mean, I mean, wrestling is known more now than it ever has been.
For sure.
Why bring back an old ass racist dinosaur to promote his beer? It
Yeah.
was not
And what are
necessary.
you thinking?
That
It's LA. It's
that's probably
LA.
not good. That's
What
probably
were
not good
you
anyway.
thinking?
It probably
What,
worked better if they were in Florida, but it didn't.
Yeah.
yeah.
See, now, you know what? I agree with you on that. Now, I'm with you on that because, matter of fact, I was talking to my wife about that today, and we both said that if he was in Florida, because he lives in Florida, if he was there, he probably would have got a little bit more cheers than boos. I think
But still would have been
he
booze.
still would have got it still would have been boos.
Still would have been booze.
Bro, listen.
And I think I'm gonna tell you right. I don't know the next time he's gonna pop up, but
Probably
if
never.
yeah, they might give it one more shot. If he goes out there and he gets worse heat than what Dominic Mysterio gets, he may never show his face ever in
Dude,
WWE
I
again.
agree.
it was almost that bad though. Like you couldn't really hear
Yeah,
what he was saying. I'll tell you
yeah,
what they need to do is so they can bury this hatchet, is they need to take him to Saudi for a Royal Rumble.
man. Ooh.
I wouldn't even do that because if they take him to Saudi usually mimics the American crowd, so they're gonna see that he got booed, they're gonna boo him.
Oh yeah,
They might
They're
kill
gonna
him.
boo him. But
yeah. Don't kidding.
I'll call it right now. I swear to God, I'm telling you, this is gonna happen. They're gonna bring him back. He's gonna come back.
Yeah.
They're going to Toronto, right? It's
Uh-huh.
one of his big.
Yeah,
They're going to
yeah.
Toronto. They're going to Toronto for Elimination Chamber. They're going to Toronto. They're going to bring him back for that. Then he's going to go to Canada. He's going to fucking get booed. He's going to get booed louder than he got booed in America.
Might be our 51st state by then.
Right. Might be our 51st state by then, Phil. So.
When he gets booed, what? Hold on. When he gets booed, Trump is going to see it and he's going to declare war on Canada. And he's going to be, oh shit.
Oh.
Now you're taking it too far. Now you're taking it
Oh
too far.
man. How could
No,
you
but like,
boo Hulk Hogan, an American hero who has saved millions and millions of children, who told them to say your prayers, eat your vitamins and everything. It's carnage,
You
it's
know
carnage.
what? Tired.
I'm gonna be
Tired.
honest with you.
Tired.
I don't even think that man would get booed as much as Hulk did.
Dog,
He probably would. He
that
wouldn't.
was crazy. Man, wow. And I was literally sitting there laughing at it because I'm just like, this dude is getting cooked. And the one person who did not want to be there besides Hogan was Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart was ready to get the hell out of there, man. He was waving the flag at first. He was like, Hogan,
He
come on,
felt
we
and
gotta go.
he backed the fuck up. He was inside of
Yeah,
that hole.
They were ready to get out of there.
dog. He was back by
And
Gorilla, man.
Bret Hart was probably one of the happiest men in the world.
Right?
Oh man, Bret Hart, hell yeah. Jesse the Body Ventura.
Jesse the Body
Oh yeah.
Ventura was
I mean, Iron
absolutely dying.
Iron Sheik was tweeting from the grave.
It
Yeah.
was.
That's how.
I was like, wait a minute, because I saw his tweet. I was like, wait a minute, is that dude dead?
Listen,
Uh,
but fuck the whole Kobe shit. No, I'm sorry. Let's get to the main crux of kind of what
but
what's
yeah,
talking about, bro. And I'll preface it kind of how we talked about it in the meeting, but I kind of want to. It's broader than what it actually sounds. So did Rock's actions just obliterate kayfabe and for this generation?
For this generation.
Yeah,
did it
did
break kayfabe?
did it obliterate it? Kayfabe was already
Oh,
happening. This dude blew the doors off of kayfabe, in my opinion. But then again, it goes back to what we were talking about before is, and what I've been tweeting on Twitter. That was a one-off. It wasn't what Raw is going to be. It was a one-off to plant the flag, show the brand, hey, we're WWE and Netflix. Here's what we're doing, right? It wasn't.
right.
It wasn't. It just wasn't. It wasn't the episodic Raw. Even like I said, I watched the post show. I watched the just interviews and things that people are saying. Shout out to Michael. He said, keep it up, fellas, doing it great, and they know this stuff. Yeah, appreciate you. But yeah, the way it like I said, it just felt as a fan, it felt icky. Like I don't need this man who bloody Cody Rhodes. I almost said Hulk Hogan. Cody Rhodes in the front of his bus, and then almost beat the shit out of the camera guys and shit for trying to rap him. Remember that? Remember he was cursing at the camera dudes and shit because they was like, "Yo,
Oh yeah.
the show was over," and he was like, "You know what I'm saying? You sitting there and caring that much about this, right? And but now Cody Rhodes has carried the company for the year, and I'm so proud of him, bro. Like." And that's why I couldn't get like when I watched it. I actually have it in the background playing right now. I watched it 3 times. This is the 4th right now. It was just like it wasn't Raw. It was literally a brand showing, a brand coming out on Netflix. It was not Raw. This was not something to expect. Exactly. It was nothing to expect every week. And I think we just need to kind of just put this shit aside. Like it's
Chill for a second.
anything. Yeah.
Hayden, go ahead. You can go ahead.
So I've been thinking about it on a few days now. I think we as wrestling fans live in the moment too much because we see something happen and we have an immediate gut reaction, and we're like, "Oh man, The Rock just ruined everything that's happened over the last year and a half." Blah blah blah. I mean, let's rewind a year when Cody won the Rumble. Cody gave up his Rumble spot to The Rock, and people lost their minds. And what a beautiful callback to it, truthfully, because now we have The Rock supposedly burying the hatchet and, being there for Roman. Who do you think he wants to get caught off guard more than anybody? If you really think
Right.
about it, it could fit story, dude. It could fit story. What a final boss thing to do. Let me make you think you're safe, and then when you're not, and when you feel like you're the safest, you're not. I'm coming for you.
You know, and I'm not saying you're not. You're like it's not logical
Right.
what you're saying, but if yesterday didn't happen, I would believe you or believe it. But yesterday happened in that promo he did. Words that he said was, a year ago I tried to step up and say I wanted to do I sit at the booth or do I sit at the head of the table? And then y'all cried, saying, "You gotta let Cody finish his story. Win, win, win." He cried and shit. Now a year later, I give Cody his props, and now you say, well, you can't be nice to Cody.
Right.
What are you
Right.
doing?
So
I think that was a good
there's
shot, bro. I
there's
don't
no
think
middle.
there's.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
There's no shot. No shot. I said it here first. No shot that Cody and Rock is happening this year. No shot. No shot. You
Man,
heard it. No shot.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. Go ahead, Hayden. Go ahead.
Saying I gave you what you wanted last year. You're not taking it from us again. That Roman Rock match is happening. Bet money.
Roman Rock.
Yep.
I think we get Cody and Rock before Mania. I think The Rock has a very short one. I think The Rock has a very short window of time left that he can actually do this and do it to the point. I think you wait another year, you really risk it, the quality of it. So I think your road to WrestleMania is going to involve The Rock probably facing Cody at Elimination Chamber, which will lead to The Rock facing Roman at Mania. I don't think for a title. I think it's for head of the family in general. Because
So The Rock faces Cody and Cody wins.
Yeah, Cody's gonna win. Cody's gonna win, and I think I don't know who Cody's opponent's gonna be. I would honestly be okay if it was Drew.
I think it's
At Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if you can pull off a Cody or a. Do you have? I mean, unless you do it kind of like they did with Rock and Cena back in the day, like no, neither one was a bad guy. You're looking at the face of the company from back in the day to the face of the company now. You could do it that way.
It doesn't have to be heel or shit. So one of them can heal it up. Like when you get to the matches with the star, it don't matter what heel for. Like, you know what I've been saying for what, a couple years now.
Yeah.
I don't believe in heel and face anymore. Like, we can say it all we want to, but nowadays, especially at the top of the card, they flip flop. It depends on who they're going off to. So really,
because Seth isn't a heel and CM Punk's not a heel.
Right.
And it was a banger of a match.
They just do what they do. And let's get to that. I don't want to not talk that match, Seth and Punk. In my opinion, no match is going to beat that this year. No match is going to beat that. That was one of the best wrestling matches.
We're like fair. We're 8 days into the year, man.
I don't care.
That's a bold,
bro.
That is a hot
match, bro. It's no match. I don't care.
That's a bold statement, Cotton. That's a bold statement, Cotton.
Man,
you guys don't get that reference. Come on, dodgeball reference.
Read that message. I was like, wait, I was like, that sounds familiar. I had to think for a minute.
Shit, I didn't think about it from the other angle. Hold up, my bad. Whoa.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
From dodgeball, guys.
Yeah, it's been some years since I've seen dodgeball.
Oh my god! I'm seeing Undertaker come out with Rhea about doing stupid like, why do I need to see that? I don't need to see that. You coming out with
business,
4 months.
Business.
Oh yeah, business.
Yeah, everybody has a price.
But no, like I said, I have very high opinion about that match. It was awesome. The drama in it, the just the move, it just melded great. The finish was awesome. I believe that was a finish between Brett and Shawn one year. But like I said, I had to go research that. Somebody else also agreed with me. But
well, if you actually watch CM Punk's match with Dean Ambrose or John Moxley
in AEW,
same finish.
Was that the same thing? Then it could have been like somebody said it was Brett, and then I kind of they showed it, and I was like, I remember that match. It wasn't. I don't even think it was for a title. That match they were talking about. But yeah, and I go watch them the that one straight back. But hey, like I say, great match. What you boys think about?
No,
You want
no.
to go?
All the matches were great. All the matches were great. You tied up loose ends for and really it's crazy. The one that wasn't the kind of like going back to what you said earlier, Hayden, about the Shinsuke and
Andrade.
Andrade match. The one match on the card for Raw that was kind of like a downer, and it was still a decent match.
Jay.
Was Jay and Drew. That was like the only one out of the four. That was the downer. The I do agree the best match was CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I totally agree with you on that. I would go Punk Rollins, Solo, Roman, Rhea, Liv, and then Jay Drew. That's the order of the from best to worst. And I mean the Jay Drew match was good. I enjoyed it, but as far like I think that's the order of the matches that was like from
Yeah,
good to best to
yeah.
worst, whatever.
For me, the CM Punk match, you can tell it's the first of many for them. Um, I don't think you're going to see another solo match between the two of them unless something crazy happens for
Solo and
Mania.
Roman.
No. Between just between Drew and I mean just between Seth and Punk.
Oh, okay, I
That
got you,
feud
got you, got
that
you.
feud ain't over. Not by a
Oh
long
no,
shot.
it's just getting
Um,
started. Matter of fact, that might be the feud of the year.
I think what you're going to end up with is Drew is going to get the World Heavyweight Championship back, unless he goes to SmackDown, which I think that should be the move. But
I
if
think
they don't go that way, I think you're going to see a triple threat match. I think Drew could be a what is it a sleeper for Rumble winner.
I would agree.
He won it. What was it? 2020. Yeah, 2020 was
It
the
was
last time he
it was the
won it.
year that he yeah. So I mean, he could be a sleeper for the Rumble winner, and then you it gives you that opportunity for him to go face Cody because I think that's going to be Cody's next real feud is between Drew and him.
I wouldn't mind a
That,
Um,
that-
Cody Drew Mania match.
yeah, I wouldn't either. Yeah, that'll be. Oh, and here's another thing too about the Netflix episode. All the faces won. You know,
yeah,
none of the heels won. Rhea lose. I mean, not Rhea. Liv losing the belt. That was the right call. It was time for her to lose the belt. Put her in the Rumble. Make her get her back to being. I mean, she was to me she was relevant, but get her back in that on that train of that drive or whatever. So put her in the Rumble. Solo. I knew Solo was going to lose. The Jay Drew match, I was kind of going back and forth. I kind of figured Jay was going to win, especially after what happened on SmackDown on Friday. And then the only match I wasn't really sure about was, and I haven't had a chance to check out that Punk, I mean that Rollins interview. I'm gonna check it out probably tomorrow on my lunch break. But the only match I was really tossing and turning or going back and forth about was the Punk Rollins match because I was trying to figure out who needs
Yeah,
that match more. I was
I
going
didn't
back and
see
forth about that.
someone losing that match. I was
I'm
totally shocked that one. The ball.
I'm calling it now. I think that the Mania match for them is going to be Seth, Punk, and Drew, a triple threat match at Mania. I
Yeah,
think to me,
I've been thinking that too.
banger because you all three of them hate
Banger,
each other.
banger.
So
Yeah,
I'm going to say right now because I think we have one more topic to get through, and I think we'll get through it fast. I think Drew's going to be your Rumble winner, and he's
mhm,
going to be in SmackDown for a little while for the build up, and then
mhm.
he's going to hop back over because he's going to see Punk. I think Punk's going to have the belt before Mania. I think he's going to have the World Heavyweight Championship before Mania,
I can see that.
and so that'll give a reason for both Drew and Seth to go after him.
Could you see?
Could you see Kevin Owens winning Rumble?
No,
No. Okay.
I think
Okay.
Randy Orton's going to cost that for him.
I think that's
Okay.
his match. Is Randy Bruce. Yeah.
Rumble winner. I can see either Jay or Drew winning Rumble. Um, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Cena, but I mean, if Drew or Jay win, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad. But I think Cena might win for the men.
I think
I
Cena's
want
gonna win Money in the Bank.
to say one more thing before we move the topic. Can we relax about this Triple H Rock missing handshake shit? The man hugged
So
him
it was
8
funny, dude. It was
times.
funny.
He hugged him
It,
8 times. What
it
else
was
do you
so
want
funny
to
though.
do?
It was so
Dap him up
funny though,
nine.
dude. Like you could see the ego in Triple H just get demolished in that moment because
Like,
he's
he was
just
like,
like
oh, let me,
he did the whole wipe my chest thing. Like I wasn't going in for a high
He was
five,
like,
nothing like that.
he
bro.
was
And
like,
now
yeah,
the whole
no.
conspiracy theory, oh, they hate each other. Oh, Rocks wants his job. Bro, he
Who was
hugged him
saying?
8
Wait, who was
times.
saying that?
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, I work and sometimes like hours in, like it's a little dead period, so I just scroll wrestling stuff. And there's really a flock of IWC people that really think The Rock and Triple H hate each other. And anything The Rock does to Triple H, they go wild. And
But
it's
that's
like,
from because they can't separate the feuds from back in the 90s to
Right,
today. You know what I mean? Because I
right.
mean, you think about when The Rock was first getting famous when he went on SNL. Who was the person that was heckling him in the crowd? It was Triple H,
Triple
right?
H,
So
exactly.
I mean, there's always been that between them, and anytime he has come back, there's been tension between them. You know what I mean? As a story, right? Um, but yeah, it's silly. You know, you got people who just can't separate. Like, there's people who buy too much into kayfabe,
Hmm.
right? Like, um, and they can't separate reality from what they're seeing on television.
right.
But what's our last topic?
Yeah. Let's get to the last topic here. What's the last topic?
Isn't it male and
Prediction
female?
who's going to be male, female rest of the year.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, uh, New Year 2025, we're 9 days in, or about to be 9 days in. And the guys and I, we came up with the idea or just wondering who will be the wrestler of the year for men and for the women. And
The way
so,
too early.
the way too early uh predictions for wrestler of the year for men and women. So Hayden, I'm gonna throw this at you first. Who do you have being your male and female wrestler of the year? Who do you think will be the male wrestler of the year?
WWE male and female
Yeah,
WWE, yes, thank you,
yeah, yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
thank you, WWE.
We should cover some AEW stuff sometime. Just throwing that out
Sure,
there.
you do that, and
Just to
we'll listen.
just
You know what? You know
uh
what? Now that AEW's on Max, I'm gonna start watching a little bit more of it. I'm gonna try to catch. I think what's today, Wednesday? So Dynamite just went off. Dynamite just went off. Maybe tomorrow I'll try to watch some of it.
Sure, you will.
we can give 5 minute reviews. We can offer them
Oh, okay.
five
Well,
minute.
never mind then. All right, man. Well, hell, I'll just read. Well, hell, I'll just read the recap from Bleacher Report and come here and say it was good.
We'd be good. All right, so I'm gonna go female first. I think it's the year of Tiffany Stratton. I think that she is going to be. I think she's going to be champion for the foreseeable future. She for no reason because she hasn't really been wrestling that much, and she's been getting kind of pushed aside. Like her rise has been unstoppable. Like ever since Elimination Chamber last year, I've thought, man, Tiffany Stratton is the next. She's probably the next Trish Stratus. And that's
Mm,
probably the highest compliment that I
mm.
can give somebody. She's a more athletic Trish Stratus, but she is the next Trish Stratus. She's gonna be a legend for sure. So that's my pick for woman. Men's wrestler of the year. I think, man, uh, dude, that's a hard one. Um, I would like to say Jay, but I don't. I think he's going to get a little bit of the LA Knight treatment. I think he's going to stay solid. Um, but man, I want to say I want to say Braun Breaker.
Okay. Good choices. Good choices. Fair. You.
You. Um, uh, I'm watching Jay Uso's entrance. I'm distracted. My bad. Um, I flip with the women. Jay Cargill. That's gonna be my pick for that.
Okay.
I think I think this storyline with her getting hurt is gonna wind up her being like the jealous heel type, and I think she's gonna get a mega rocket put on her back from when she comes back, which I think is Royal Rumble. Kind of how she's kind of working herself back in now. She was at the Performance Center over the weekend, but I think they're gonna put the rocket on her. Her singles run is about to start.
Who do you think
Male.
hurt her?
If I had to
Look
guess,
out.
it's probably Charlotte right now.
Charlotte. Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably go Charlotte. Now I have been tweeting and trolling the shit out of Naomi and Michin. No, I think Nia. I think I did that winner too. But if
No,
anybody runs across it, I'm joking when I'm tweeting it. Please, Jesus Christ. But male, oh Jacob.
Jacob
I
Fatu.
was
That's a good pick.
hey, you know
That's a
what?
good pick.
I was thinking about Fatu. I was thinking about Jacob Fatu. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
You thought I was gonna pick Roman, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, well,
You trying to
somebody in the
make
blood. Lady, hey, I'm gonna
yeah.
tell y'all, hey, everybody, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Fair wants to be an honorary oos.
I am the
He
honorary.
wants to be an
What are you
honorary
talking about?
oos.
I am the
He wa-
honorary.
he wants to be the Jacob
I
Fatu
was
to Roman.
Yeah,
Love you,
exactly.
Roman.
no,
Love you. Well, I love you,
I
Roman.
want to be Paul Heyman. Let's keep it real.
um, no, you guys made some good choices. You guys just made some good choices for male and female. Hayden, I'm going to agree with you. I think Tiffany Stratton is going to be the female wrestler of the year. I've been thinking about her as far as what she's going to do. I was starting to get really worried about her not cashing in that money in the bank contract because you don't want to wait too long. It's like you don't want to. Sometimes you don't want to have them cashing in too soon, but you don't want to have them cashing in too late,
He cashed
unless
it in
there's
at
an
the
injury or something
perfect
like that.
time. It was the perfect time to cash it in
Yeah, it
before
was. It
before
was
Mania season comes, so that you kind of not having
exactly,
that lingering over like it did with Damien. Like it was
exactly,
the perfect time.
exactly. So I'm gonna go with Tiffany Stratton. My male superstar of the year, and I like the Jacob Fatu pick. Um, the one I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Montez Ford.
Uh, that's a good wish.
You're right. I hope you're right.
I hope you're right too. I think Montez Ford is a fantastic. I think he's on my short list for people to go back down to NXT and kind of reestablish themselves.
um, sorry, yeah, yeah, and I think this might be the year that Montez Ford finally breaks away from Angelo Dawkins, and I think he gets on that route. He might be he might be the performer of the night at the Rumble. If he's in the Rumble, I think Montez Ford could have a breakout performance.
I think
I hope he
Street
has a
Profits
breakout.
are going. I think Street Profits are going to break up when they come back from injury.
Yeah, yeah,
Man,
I agree. I think so. I think so.
It's the perfect time.
It's time.
It's
It's
time.
time.
It's time for them to break up.
Um, hey, I can see something where Angelo or Montez Ford might somewhat eliminate Angelo Dawkins at Rumble.
that would be a good start.
That would be a great start. So I'm gonna go with Montez Ford. I'm gonna go Tiffany Stratton and Montez Ford.
I would love them if we're talking about a forward turn. I would then you see how they like to reenact things that happened in the past, especially down at NXT. We'll talk about that later. And if we're gonna talk about AEW, we're gonna fucking talk NXT, okay? Because we're gonna talk about the better
I'd
show.
rather talk about NXT. What are you talking about? That's a way easier choice. It's like
Okay, so we're gonna talk about NXT from now on. Okay. So listen,
it's like you want wings or nuggets.
I would wait. Well done. Put some sauce on the side. I like the dip. But listen, I would. Damn, I got so into that joke. I forgot what I was saying.
Oh no, you were talking about you were talking about how they like to reenact certain things from the past.
They like to reenact certain stuff from past storylines. I would love a Marty Jannetty type presentation of the Street
Hmm.
Profits breakup. It fits, sorry, but black people doing it in a barbershop. Mello used to have a like a TV spot called The Barbershop where we chop it up. I don't know if everybody's heard of it's a podcast. I forget the homie's name, but like they shit in the barbershop and they just chop it up. They talk about hip hop and stuff like that.
The movie, The Barbershop.
Matt Hoffa. Matt
Yeah,
Hoffa.
yeah, Matt, yeah. But his podcast is kind of like how Mello's show was, and they would, they chop it up. I would love for it to go there and just bring culture all the way into it, but they probably won't go that far because they don't know to ask anybody. But
Off subject.
I would love go ahead, my bad.
I was gonna say kind of a weird question to ask, but I'm asking it for a reason. Was Ford hurt before Jade?
Force not hurt.
Well, they're
They
injured.
did the injury, and that was way after Jade.
Okay.
But they came back and wrestled already, so they were
Yeah.
back. They just weren't on the show.
What if it was who's their what's the name of the girl that's with the Street Profits?
Oh,
Um
BFAB.
BFAB. What if BFAB was the one to take out Jade in like at Bianca's request? And that way you could turn Bianca heel and break up the Street Profits at the same time. Like that would be kind of a cool little story there, maybe.
Then I would have to say then that Bianca told BFAB to do it if we're doing that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And then like Montez is in on it, and that's how you like D'Angelo Hawkins is the odd man out. He didn't know that any of this was going on, and that's what causes them to kind of have a little bit of a split. So you turn Montez and Bianca heel at the same time.
hmm
I
that's a
would probably agree that she would turn heel with Montez only because if you notice Bianca's social media, she's been doing a lot of the mannerisms that Montez has been doing. That little one half a smile
yeah.
with the
Matter
gold pieces and
Yeah,
everything.
I was gonna say, yeah, she was because she
She's
was
been
wearing
doing
that at the Raw episode. Yeah.
right, and she's been doing it a lot on her social medias too. So
Hmm.
I would probably say if they can combine that angle, that would probably will be the best way to do it. It definitely would be. I like that idea for sure. But yeah, I want Montez to go out on his own. Whether we're wrong or we're not, I would like the brother to fucking be able to shoot a shot. It's time. Like you had this man. I feel like he's been on the main roster for like 5 years now. It's time for like you can't just keep this man in this tag team with all this charisma and all this talent, and you just let him dwindle. Like do something with the
Yep.
man.
Yeah, he
Yep.
needs to go into the transfer portal, and
Do
I think he
something
needs to
with
go
the
over
man.
to Raw.
That'll be good too. Maybe
Go
don't
after
even
the
go with them. Just break up the Street Profits and that's it. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Like it don't
have him
even.
go.
I just want this man to be on his own.
Have him go after the
Hmm.
Intercontinental title against Braun.
Right. I do think that the mid card titles are changing brands. I think LA Knight goes to Raw and Braun goes to SmackDown. The way they're trying to build, Shawn Michaels was rumored supposed to be about to take over SmackDown. So that tells me that they're trying to gear younger, not developmental, but the younger stars of tomorrow. They're going to get over on SmackDown, and then when they're
Mhm.
ready, you go to Raw. You know what I'm saying?
Raw's the
It's going
Raw's
to
the
be
big
kind
time.
of like how remember how SmackDown was back in the day when Kurt Angle kind of did that heel change, and it was Paul Heyman was running it, and it was kind of
Oh
like
yeah.
it was the wrestler show. Remember that?
Hmm.
I think
What
it's
was that
kind
called again? It was called like the Big Six or something like that.
of, I don't know. But
Yeah, I do
it
remember
was
that though.
just that time. That's when Cena and they had all the young talents. When Cena,
Hmm.
when Batista was on that show. There was a
Hmm.
bunch of the young talent. Randy was on that show. It was a bunch of the young talent that became superstars was on that SmackDown. Then you had the old fuddy duddies over there. You know, with
Overall,
Raw.
yeah,
I think it's kind of
and part
becoming
of
that.
that, and, and part of that was the fact that that was Vince's fault because Vince didn't care about SmackDown because Vince only
Hmm.
cared about Raw because Raw was bringing in the most money and that was his baby. That was the flagship show, as they called it. So he told and Heyman said Vince let him do whatever
And he did
on that show with
it.
it and freaking SmackDown. And I've always thought for years that SmackDown was much better than Raw.
Especially during that
I've
time when
always
he had it. Absolutely.
yeah
Recently,
yeah I always thought SmackDown
I
was
have a
was
In the
better.
last
feeling.
4 years, in the last 4 years, it's been a
Yeah, I have
better
a
show.
feeling.
Yeah.
I have a feeling you're going to see a championship shakeup for sure. I think you're going to see. I see
Uh,
more of a chance of the World Heavyweight Championship and Cody's
yeah,
belt
you got right to it.
changing more than
Right
I
to it.
see the mid card belts.
My guy. I don't. I don't. I think Gunther's days as champion is numbered, and I am. I'm almost at least 70% sure they want to hot shot that championship over to Roman. I'm pretty
Oh
sure
yeah. Oh yeah.
Roman
And
to
that's
have
Oh
how
that.
yeah.
Punk. That's how Punk ends up with the belt. I'm telling you right now. That's how Punk ends up with the belt before. Um. Ooh. You know what? I figured it out. I figured it out. Um.
Mhm.
Uh. Paul's gonna turn on Roman.
No, he's not.
I know you don't want to
You
hear this
hope
about your tribal
no no
chief.
no no let it happen. Let it happen. That way he could be Roman's new Paul Heyman. He could be
Yeah,
Roman's
there we go.
new wise man. Yeah, there you
But
go. Yeah, let it
this
happen.
is what
Let it
this is what's
happen.
going to happen. The World Heavyweight Championship is gonna end up. Roman is gonna. I think Roman's gonna win it, and then that's when Punk's going to call in his favor because Punk's not going to win the Rumble. I think Punk's going to call in his favor. That's how he's going to end up with the World Heavyweight Championship, and then you're going to see that that Paul is actually more in line with The Rock than he is with Roman, and it's going to be more about the family at that point. It's going to be about being the head over everything, being the next in line to take over like The Rock's position. And then that's how you kind of lead off to Punk facing Drew and Seth in a three-way match. You let Cody kind of do whatever he's going to do. That's how you separate all three of them, and that's how you still make Rock and Roman happen at Mania.
Mm.
There doesn't need to be a belt for that match.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Well, we're going to stop right there before Fair has a whole come apart. on why Hayden's theory is not going to work. But thank you to everybody who tuned in to Wrestling with the Bros tonight. What episode was this? I didn't even say the
Bro,
episode.
Bro, I
Damn.
don't even remember this episode.
Hey, the people have to know what episode it is before we
I
start,
don't give a damn about no
talking about it.
episode.
They do care about it. They
Why would they care about
continuity,
that?
man. It's long-term storytelling. We're doing that here on Wrestling with the Bros. All right, we're doing that here.
You tell the
For our
story and take
executive
us
producer Smitty,
show.
hey, for our executive producer Smitty, that's Hayden. That's fair over here, right there. I'm Chris. Follow us at WWTB. Is it 204? Yeah, no, not really. Not yet. Not yet. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. Smitty. Now hit the music. Yo, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to the 12th episode. I remember this time. 12th episode of Wrestling with the Bros.
Acknowledge us.
For fair, Smitty, I'm Chris. Y'all have a good one. Hey, y'all take care.